It's a cold winter afternoon, the air is heavy, the sky dull, and train tracks hum with the passing of trains. Today, two trains will share the same stretch of rail, but not in the way they're meant to. One, a passenger service carrying hundreds of travellers, the other, a slow-moving freight train. In just a few minutes, their paths will cross in the worst possible way. The small town of Chase will become the site of one of the most infamous rail disasters in US history. The cause would send ripples through the entire rail industry, forcing regulators to take action that would change railroad operations forever. The 4th of January 1987, Chase, Maryland, the United States of America. Amtrak Train 94 departs Washington in the early afternoon. It's bound for Boston, making the familiar Northeast Corridor journey. Passengers are heading home after Christmas and New Year's celebrations, some still in the afterglow of family gatherings, others already slipping back into work mode. On board, there's an easy rhythm, the click of wheels over rail joints, muted conversations, and the scent of coffee from the cafe car. At the front, an electric locomotive pulls a sleek string of Amfleet passenger coaches at speeds well over 100 miles an hour. Up ahead, on the same line, a Conrail freight train is approaching. Its speed, barely 30 miles per hour. It should easily be able to come to a stop soon in order to stay clear of the incoming Amtrak. The Conrail freight train is comprised of 3 General Electric B36-7 locomotives, each capable of producing over 3,600 horsepower. Designed to tow freight cars, today it is just made up of the 3 engines. The Amtrak is named the Colonial and is powered by an EMD AEM-7 electric locomotive. Compact, boxy, and immensely powerful, it's a workhorse of the Northeast Corridor, capable of reaching speeds of up to 125 miles per hour. Behind it are modern Amfleet cars. Approaching Chase, the signals along the track are set to instruct the Conrail to stop before the 2 tracks merge into one. A series of amber lights warn the Conrail to slow down and come to a stop in order to allow the Amtrak to pass. But the Conrail is too slow to react. By the time they do, they engage the emergency brake, but it's too late. They've passed the absolute stop signal, the last safeguard before it enters a section of track reserved for the other train. The Colonial is moving fast towards Chase. To the Amtrak crew, the track appears clear. The signals they've been given suggest the way ahead is open. The 2 trains are now on the same track, the Colonial closing in with each second. At 4:16 PM, the Colonial rounds a slight curve and sees in front of it a massive freight train. There's no time to stop. They activate the brakes, but it's too late. The Colonial slams into the Conrail at over 100 miles per hour. The first Amtrak coach telescopes into the next, the metal folding like paper. Each one following after it derails. Passengers are thrown around inside violently. The sound is deafening, a crushing, grinding explosion of steel on steel. The locomotives and cars twist off the rails, windows shatter, and debris litters the ground. In seconds, a once peaceful rural area is transformed into chaos. The scene is one of complete devastation. Emergency crews rush from the surrounding towns, pulling dazed passengers from twisted wreckage. 16 people lose their lives and 164 are injured. Some are trapped for hours in the cold as rescuers work to cut them free. A lot of their equipment is inadequate and designed for car wrecks, not a much larger train. The smell of burning diesel permeates the cold air. Survivors describe a sudden, violent jolt followed by darkness. Many owe their lives to the stronger Amfleet construction. Had more of the cars been older designs, the death toll might have been even higher. The National Transportation Safety Board launches an immediate investigation. Attention focuses quickly on the Conrail crew. Signal records show the Conrail train failed to react to multiple warning signals, including the final stop indication. The Amtrak crew had no chance to avoid the collision. The signals they saw led them to believe the way ahead was clear and allowed them to proceed at speed. Investigators also examined the possibility of mechanical failure, but the evidence points clearly to human error. The 2 crewmen from the Conrail train had survived, and their actions scrutinised closely. How had they failed to react in time? The shocking answer would soon be known. After initially denying so, the 2 would later test positive for having had been smoking cannabis while on the job, heavily impairing their judgment and situational awareness. Also discovered in the cab of their train is how a safety system had been disabled by placing a piece of duct tape over it. Investigators quickly determined that drug impairment was the primary cause of the disaster. The NTSB conclude that if the warning signals had been obeyed and the train slowed as required, they would have easily stopped before the collision could occur. Both men resigned from Conrail. One, the brakeman, is granted immunity in exchange for his testimony. The engineer is sentenced to prison, where he serves 4 years. After his release, he would go on to become a counsellor to educate and help others dealing with drug and drinking abuse. The NTSB also noted that Amtrak's train was travelling at 120 to 125 miles per hour, slightly above the authorised limit for equipment it was hauling, but was ruled to not have made a significant contribution to the accident. The accident would be the deadliest in Amtrak's history until it was superseded by the Big Bayou disaster, which you can watch my video about here. Give the video a like rating if you enjoyed watching it and found it interesting, subscribe to catch future episodes, and I'll see you next time.